What is up, guys? Welcome back to Bean's Battlefront Bonanza. Today I have a special video for you. I have some Walker Assault, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm playing with some friends in a party. Got Sage, Omnivore, Whiscrum, all the usual casted characters. Walker Assault's pretty simple. We're playing as the Empire, and our objective is to descend on the Rebel base and blow up their shields, and then that's it. They're trying to blow up our AT-ATs. We got 2 of them. It's pretty simple. You guys know. I don't want to talk about this clip, though, today, guys. Today, I want to talk about the new Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, and tell you my opinions on it. Before we go any further, if you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it, turn this video off now. Spoilers. Spoilers. There's going to be spoilers galore in this video. So if you're trying to see Star Wars, turn it off. I appreciate your attempt at watching this video. But we're talking Star Wars The Force Awakens today. Alright, so before I tell you my opinion on the movie, let's talk about my Star Wars backstory to give you guys a sense of where I'm coming from. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. I never dressed up as a Star Wars character for any reason. I never had a lightsaber battle with anybody. But I appreciated the movies for their storytelling elements, for their visual elements, you know. Star Wars, everyone loves Star Wars, right? So I've seen Star Wars 5 or 6 times, right? The whole series, 5 or 6 times. Maybe 4 or 5 times, okay? So I'm not a huge fan, but I've seen them all. The first 3, the Lucas 3, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I love those movies, of course, everyone does. As far as the prequels, the George Lucas prequels that came out after, but took place before, a lot of people hated on those because of things like Jar Jar Binks. They felt the story wasn't as strong. But I was one of those people who did enjoy those movies. I thought the acting was very strong. I thought the story was good and creative. And, you know, there were things like Jar Jar Binks that were kind of grating. But overall, I thought the series was pretty good. So, not a lot of people believe that, okay? Not a lot of people believe that. Alright, so the other day I went to see The Force Awakens. Now, I'd been mixed opinions going into the movie. You know, it was owned by Disney. Disney acquired the rights to Star Wars for like $5 billion or something like that. So I knew it was a Disney movie going into it. I knew it was directed by J.J. Abrams, a director who I disgust. I hate J.J. Abrams. There's no movie of his that I've ever seen that I thought had any redeeming qualities. So already I'm a little biased, I admit that. But he's a hack director, and people love him because of his corniness, I guess. He's one of the corniest directors in Hollywood ever. One of the most successful corny directors. His dialogue is habitually just not realistic. He uses visual... I don't want to get into the director. After watching the movie, I came out of the theater in disgust. Disgust. I was disgusted with what I had just seen. If you've seen the movie, well, of course you've seen the movie. You would have not got past the spoiler wall. But where do I begin with this turd of a movie? Okay, let me tell you guys a story. A young Skywalker, very young. He's living in the desert, right? And his life isn't going so well. This Skywalker's life's not going so well. He's messing around with droids, you know, struggling to survive, whatever. He's got dreams and aspirations of something more until he comes across a droid. And this droid has a map. And this map has the key to a secret Jedi, right? The key to a Jedi who could solve everything, who could defeat the Empire. Now, this Skywalker doesn't initially want to get involved with this droid, but, you know, as circumstance dictates, you know, he or she gets all wrapped into it, okay? Follow me on this story, guys. And this Skywalker, has to fight the Empire. And, you know, and while he's fighting the Empire, he's learning that, you know, he's not just a human. He's got some skills that most people don't have. So this guy, you know, the Empire is an evil force that's trying to take over the galaxy, and he finds that he's integral to the fight to save the galaxy. And it turns out that, you know, that he's going to have to lead a mission to destroy the Empire, their Death Star. They have a Death Star that's, you know, capable of destroying planets. And so they sent the team down to the Death Star, and there's one team in the X-wings who are trying to blow it up from the outside. There's a team inside who's trying to take down the shields, and so the Skywalker, has to go and blow up the Death Star, and then he does blow up the Death Star, and everyone's happy. Blah 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 blah. Sound familiar? Does it sound like A New Hope, or is that the exact same plot of The Force Awakens? Guys, this wasn't a remake. J.J. Abrams has recreated A New Hope scene for scene. Scene for mother effing scene. This is not a new movie. Nothing new was brought to the Star Wars story in this movie. Not a single new thing. I went into this theater hoping that I would find out the next installment in the Star Wars story. What happened to the characters after we left them, right? That's not what we got. What we got was the exact same movie we've already seen. Exactly scene for scene with some of the same actors playing some of the same parts. What in the heck? It was clear, 100% clear to me, guys, 100% clear that Disney did not want to lose any money on this Star Wars acquisition. They paid $5 billion for the rights to Star Wars. They wanted to make their money back. And how do you make your money back, guys? You saw what happened with the first three. George Lucas went creative with it. The first three in the numbers, 1, 2, and 3, okay? The Clone Wars and all that. George Lucas went a creative route. He told a new creative story. It was still in the Star Wars universe, but it was a story that he wanted to tell. It was new, it was creative, and people hated on it. Right? Like I just said, people did not accept it. Okay? It wasn't the Star Wars they knew and loved. Right? So here comes J.J. Abrams and Disney. They paid $5 billion for Star Wars. They need to make their money back. The only way to do that is to make a movie that takes no risk whatsoever. This movie took no risks. They brought A New Hope back to life. Okay? They recreated a movie we've already seen because they were afraid that if they went creative with it, if they told a cool story with new characters and new actors, that people wouldn't accept it and they wouldn't make their $5 billion back. So what did they do? They got the same old actors, they told the exact same old story, and nothing new was brought to the table because they were afraid that you would reject it. And they wouldn't make their $2 billion on this movie. Okay? So number one, out of the gates, before anything even got recorded, before they started filming, this movie was a carbon copy of something they've already done before because it was a business decision. Is that how art is supposed to be? Star Wars is art. It is art. Right? Now, Disney's acquired it, and now it's a business. Now, it's always been a business. It's always been a huge endeavor, but George Lucas always had creative control, and he was always telling the story that he wanted to tell. That's why we loved it so much. It was George Lucas's creation, and now it's been bastardized by a corporation that's trying to take over the world. And you people eat it up with a spoon, don't you? Oh, it's got Chewbacca. I love it. I miss Chewbacca. What's he been up to? That's exactly what they were hoping you would say, because people of lower intelligence think that way, okay? You wanted your old Star Wars back. You didn't want new creative stuff. You wanted the same old, and Disney delivered. Didn't they? They gave you exactly what you wanted. You wanted your old characters, you wanted your old story, and you got it. And you're happy, and you gave them billions of dollars. That's not creativity, guys. That is not art. That is not art. That is a product that has been made with the sole intention of sucking money from you. This was a cash grab of one of the largest scales I've ever seen. Okay? I love movies, guys. I love movies because they tell a cool story with realistic actors and make you believe that you're watching reality. That's what movies are for. Movies aren't meant to be visually appealing and that's it, because that's what Star Wars is. It's a bunch of eye candy with absolutely no substance behind it. The Force Awakens is a cardboard copy of a great movie. And you people ate it up with the spoon, didn't you? You don't even know why you... Oh, I'm getting so mad. Well, let's talk about the specifics of the movie. So many things just completely... Oh. First of all, Finn as an actor. The guy who played Finn, I hope he doesn't get any more work in serious roles. He was good in the comedic element. He added some levity to the movie. You know, his cool little facial expressions meant to make you laugh. That was it. Dramatically, he was one of the worst actors I've ever seen in a motion picture of this size. A dramatic actor, he is not. He should be in comedies, because that's all he was what do you call it, the comedic relief. That's all he was. Acting-wise, terrible. The dialogue in this movie was more corny than Star Wars is used to. Cornier and just unrealistic and unbelievable than any other Star Wars that preceded it. One scene in particular was when Finn and the pilot guy are escaping for the first time in the TIE Fighter. The exchange between them was the worst dialogue I've seen in movies, period. Hey, what's your name? My name's Finn. Oh, I never flew a TIE Fighter before. Oh my goodness, you never flew a TIE Fighter before. It was ridiculous. They're about to be killed, and they're having this... Oh, my God. I cringed so hard. I almost walked out of the theater on that scene, guys. I almost walked out. I cringed so hard. I was looking around the theater in disgust, looking for eye contact. Does anyone see what I'm seeing? How is this Star Wars? Okay? So right there, the Finn actor got to me. Whoever wrote that dialogue, I assume it was Abrams, did a large part of it. Oh, my goodness. It was like meant to pander to 4-year-olds. Right? They're trying to suck you in, guys. This is not a movie that... Okay. They tried to walk a fine line. They tried to please the adults who love Star Wars, and they tried to please the kids of these adults who, the parents wanted to introduce to a whole new era of Star Wars fans, okay? So this movie is trying to appease the old fans and make new fans. Right? They weren't trying to tell a cool story creatively, no. They weren't trying to add to the Star Wars universe to the story, no. They were trying to suck in new fans so they could make more money. So a lot of the dialogue was meant for 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, little kids. Don't get me started on bringing a 5-year-old to this movie where people are getting stabbed in the chest. There's mass genocide. People are dying on the millions scales. There's blood in this movie. People are getting killed left and right, getting blown up. You're taking little kids to see this movie? What is wrong with you people? And not only that, the movie is encouraging you to bring your kids because it's got all this fan service for little kids. It's got the lovable Chewbacca. It's got all the little jokes. It's got the CGI. Man, it's irresponsible. Teaching kids about genocide and murder and the darkest parts of humanity. And these little kids and these parents are just clueless as to what they're even seeing. It boggles my mind. Anyway, let's get back to the problems with the movie. My goodness. How about the fact that apparently, you can just pick up a lightsaber and fight a guy who's trained in the dark side of the Force. Anyone could just pick up a lightsaber and just start wielding it and actually hold their own against a guy who's got training. Don't get me started on Kylo Ren, one of the worst bad guys ever in Star Wars. I understand that this guy was supposed to be, torn between his father and his grandfather, torn between the light and the dark. So he's a little bit of a, it's part of my language. You know what I mean, okay? He's a little bit of a pansy, okay? As compared to other, Star Wars villains. So I get that, all right? But he's got these powers and he doesn't use them. He's fighting this little girl and this guy who has no midichlorians as far as we're meant to know. Finn, okay? Finn just picks up a lightsaber and this guy could kill Finn at any moment, but he doesn't use his force powers. He just, oh my goodness. This guy's in sanitation and he just held his own in a lightsaber battle against a guy trained by Sith Lords. Okay? If you're a Star Wars fan and that didn't upset you, then you're not a Star Wars fan. Okay? And then the girl, Rey, she doesn't even have any training whatsoever either. She picks up a lightsaber and starts beating this guy and eventually defeats him, of course, right? And of course, she's about to kill the guy, what she wants to do. She's about to destroy him, right? All of a sudden, there's an act of God. An act of God. It brings an earthquake and a fissure creates like a separation between them. Two plates move apart and all of a sudden she can't kill him, right? Just so there can be 2 more movies. An act of God makes 2 more movies. That is bad storytelling. No, scratch that. That is pathetic storytelling. Machina is a literary device where When your storytelling is so bad and so unrealistic, you have to use an act of God to propel the plot forward. And everyone who's ever written a story knows that people who do that are cast out of the industry. I hope J.J. Abrams does not get another job for the rest of his life. Okay, I heard that he's not going to be directing the next 2 Star Warses, so thank goodness for that. As far as this series going forward, well, let's talk about what I liked about the film. Before, I know I've put a lot of hate on this, but the CGI was cool. I guess they spent a lot of money on that. Of course, anyone can spend money on CGI. I play Battlefront for that, guys. I don't need that in my movies. I go to the movies for story, and that's about it. So it did have some cool CGI. The visuals were cool. Of course, the fan service was people clapped in the theater. That's how apparent. That's how obvious it was that this movie was just playing fan service. This isn't a real movie. This was 2.5 hours of nothing. 2.5 hours of nothing. If I wanted to watch A New Hope again, I'd go watch A New Hope because that movie's 25 times better. Okay? Even though it was made 40 years ago, it's still 25 times better because the acting was good, the writing was good, the direction was good. That's why people love Star Wars. Why do you love this? Why do you love this? I know I'm talking to you because 99.9% of the people that I've interacted with who have seen this movie have said they liked it. Did you not see A New Hope? Is that why you liked it? I guess if you've never seen A New Hope, this movie would seem good to you. If you've not seen A New Hope, what are you doing watching new Star Warses? Are you just that susceptible to marketing? Everyone else is watching it, I guess I should, huh? Yeah, so go ahead and dislike this video. I'm used to it by now. I present alternative viewpoints that you haven't thought about, and rather than think about them, most people reject them. I'm used to it by now, guys, but in a lot of ways I am right. Maybe I'm a little passionate about it, over-passionate about it, because I do love Star Wars, and they've basically ruined the franchise. They've destroyed it in the quest for billions of dollars. So I'm furious. If you're a Star Wars fan, you should too be furious. This is a bastardization of the whole thing. They have more opportunities to redeem themselves, but I'm not seeing it, guys. I mean, Disney doesn't care about art. They don't care about creativity. They care about making money. That's how they got to this point, and that's how they're going to continue to take over entertainment industry in any way they can. So be wary of that, guys. Don't fall for this trap. Why are you falling for this? This is a cash grab. A cash grab. Keep your money. Don't go see this movie if you haven't seen it already. If you have seen it, tell people about what I'm saying, guys. Go watch A New Hope and tell me that this movie wasn't an exact scene-for-scene recreation. Of course Rey is Luke Skywalker's daughter. Did you not know that? Of course she is. So, it was obvious. It was, oh man, I hated it. I hated it. I'll recover, guys. I'll recover. Suffice it to say, I'm not going to go see the next 2. I'm done with the whole thing. I'm done with it. So, leave a dislike since you will. I know you will. But think about what I've said here today, guys, and keep it in mind for the future. Alright, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you agreed with me or if you enjoyed it in any way. Peace.